You are welcome to the bottom line, Liberia.
You are welcome to the bottom line, Liberia, my dear friend and brother Linford Gwan. How you doing? Good to see you.
Well, I'm doing fine. All is okay. Weather-wise, everything is fine. And so the summer is on now, so all is okay. And thank you for welcoming me.
All is okay. Padole, welcome to the bottom line discussion. How are you this evening?
Oh, I'm very happy to be here tonight. I'm okay. Everything is going fine. The weather just been giving a tough time, so we kept on home.
I mean, the thing is, I don't understand, yo. In Liberia, when it rain, we complain about the rainy season. When it dry, we say the sun too hot.
That's a human nature.
In the West here, the same thing. When it cold, we say, oh, it's too cold. Now, when the sun really hot, no breeze, we complain. So what do we really want?
Yeah, that's a human nature. We bound to complain.
Yeah. So I know, but anyway, that's the recipe for the hot. What I was told by my English friends, when it's hot, you drink hot tea, it cool your temperature. I don't know how true it is, but most times they have done that. Say when it's really hot, drink hot tea, it will cool you down. And when extremely cold, drink cold water will make your temperature. So I don't know. Guys, you talk to me. Is it scientifically proven when it's cold, drink cold water, it make your temperature increase it? When it's hot, is you already hot, then drink hot tea, then cool the system down. How true it is?
Yeah, I don't believe in that because I'm not a medical doctor, so I won't disagree that, but I don't believe it.
Right. Okay. Anyway, today
I think that's true. That sounds funny because when it's really, really hot, man, you cannot. There's no way you can drink hot tea. It's not possible.
It's not possible. You rather look for soft drink. That's why you see many people going with cold water in their hand to cool the temper.
To cool the
temperature, in the system to cool it off.
No, but the people who made freezer to make ice or to make things cold, they knew that when it's hot, you need something cold, or else they would make everything hot. When it's hot, then you be drinking hot boiling water. No, it's not possible.
Well, that's the story. Most people say that they drink that tea or coffee to keep their temperature up. Maybe our viewers can.
It depends on people. It depends on people. People are different, They got people with different temperature. You see, you will not believe it. In the winter, I feel cold, but the part of my body, especially in the night or in the day, the part of my body that I feel cold is my legs or maybe my hands, but the actual body don't. So people ask me why you carry light jacket, because some people can dress terribly. You see them, I'm like, coming. But I wear my jacket and so and the guys on Norwegian that are very brave when it comes to the weather, and some can freeze. And not like people who are born here. So people got different body temperatures.
In this case, Paul should be the best witness in this case, because in Russia, when during the ice time, during the cold time, you see the Russian going in the cold ice water. Dip themselves in the water. So I don't know what they do it for.
I mean, that's what I was saying, because when it's extremely cold, the body can generate heat. So when you go in a very icy cold water, you come out, so the body start it how to produce heat. So that's why they say when it's hot, you drink hot tea, it kind of cool you down a little bit. So I don't know how. That's not a scientist, but this is what they have been seeing. Yeah. Friends, welcome to the program.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, I think we see reflection, so you need to position yourself good so we can see your face good. Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, back to be here. So let's do a quick musical break while we share the show. Tonight will be fascinating. We'll be looking at the newspaper today, and also we'll be looking at international, what's happening. When Linford can all you gave for the news, I think Yasini might join us tonight. Linford will give all that update. It'll be a interesting program tonight. So I've seen that. Yeah. So this is it, guys. Back to be here. So before we move on to the musical break, Padre, what's on your mind?
I got several things on my mind, to be honest. It's that since last week, I've been concentrating on it up to present. I have not found any best solution or any good answer. Maybe Francis will give me some answer tonight. Basically, it's about the chasings of the criminal age judge who survived from the attack, overnight attack. One is who released Fadika from prison when he was sent there by the judge. So that two things really caught my mind, and I really want to know some of the outcome of that.
Oh, so do you have this story so we can talk about it about this George being attacked?
Yeah, there was, yeah, it was in the news that the judge survived from the net attack. Judge criminal code A judge survived from the net attack. It was in the newspaper. It was in the news.
Right.
We forwarded the news to Borderland.
Okay, but that's scary though.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they're going on an attack, then that's really scary.
Yeah.
Francis, yeah. So you hope our daughter was on his mind. What on your mind, my dear brother?
Well, the only thing that's on my mind is the progress that has been made in the country of Liberia. The road connectivity has been massive. So that's a good step. The government approach to anti-corruption, approach to the enhancing accountability. So it's a lot of the things going on, and besides that, we look forward to hear what the results or the ruling for the court will be in all the charges, all the trials, and corruption, the suspects, and what's going on. It'll be interesting.
Great. Well, for me, I would say nothing on my mind about Liberia. I just going to follow the show tonight because with a country called Liberia, there's always stories. So if I decide to put something on my mind regarding Liberia, it will be endless. So to our viewer, for those of you joining us for the first time, kindly share the show. Tonight we'll be looking at international news. We'll also look at what's happening in Liberia, the justice system, and the appointment of the nominee of the new Supreme Court boss. And the question would be, and this is the question. So before we come back, this is the question on the newspaper: merit-based or political payback? To our viewers, we need your input on this. The new nominee, we say merit-based or political payback. And then Francis talked about the assets recovery that we agree that they will prosecute people. So this is a topic we'll be looking at. Are these guys ready to change Liberia? And then internationally, everything has been focused on what is happening in the Middle East. But then in Europe, Russia is doing something bad that no one is talking about. But only the bottom line will have that discussion tonight. So share the show. It'll be fascinating. When Linfaka himself, we might have Yasini on the program tonight as well. So that will make it much more interesting. So we'll take a quick commercial break and come back onto the program, and then we'll dive straight into our discussion tonight. It will be interesting. Road connectivity, according to Francis, development is going on. He's happy. But though they talk about the judge that been attacked. So we'll look at that, we'll discuss it, and then look into the newspaper, and then the international, we'll sort on the international. So can they share the show? Let's take a quick commercial break. When Linford come by, he will update us.
Di Lorenzo, G Grace. Hems vocal, Liberian number one vocal, Liberian number one, right? Okay.
The phrase, a new sheriff is in town, does not only belong to law enforcement. How about the introduction of Liberia's premier vodka, a quality and customized liquor for all occasions? Try the flavor of your choice. Ham's Vodka, Ham's Honey, Ham's Bitter, and Ham's Original Vodka. Ham's Vodka has no hangover. That's why they say Papa drank Mama happy. Ham's Vodka is sold in all stores, shops, supermarkets, and entertainment centers in Liberia. For wholesale, contact Ham's Vodka at 0777 001114, 0777 000 We can also be reached via social media on Facebook and IG at Ham's Vodka or www.hansvodka.com. In the United States, please contact Hans North America Incorporated at 610-543-9289, 484-888-1622, 484-755-8411. Hans Vodka is approved by the U.S. federal government. Hans Vodka brings out the real man in you.
I tell you in my core, in my blood. Every time when I stay on the block, everybody knows it. We hustle. And forgot that number one. Oh, from Liberia all around. In supermarket store and everywhere. And forgot that number one.
Welcome to the Bottom Line Discussion Live. Linford, welcome to the show. And before you left, we're asking our panelists here, what's on your mind before we get into?
Well, basically, what's on my mind is what we see in the newspapers. We have a new justice that have been nominated by the president, pending confirmation. And for some of us, it was not a surprise. We know the road that led to that nomination. We know the performance of that particular individual. And let us say congratulations to him on his nomination. And we hope the Senate will do due diligence to the case or to the process. And then, we also see that the asset recovery team is now energetic. They are being energized. After being commissioned for more than 1.5 years now, so they are now energized. They've been taking pay for free, but now they're ready to work. So we hope the job will be done with profession, with professionalism, instead of just doing something to justify their inclusion in the government. So those are a few of the things on my mind. And of course, on the outside front, the world is a global village. So whatever happens anywhere else will affect the other people. Whether Blue said it one time, he said, "Can't try enough for rat alone." So the rat say, the goat there, the cow there, they say, "Oh," or even the human, they say, "I rat there, I tried to sell for the rat." And the actual story behind that, the actual explanation of that parable is this. Maybe some of you don't know. They said that the trap in the town for the rat. Because the rat would destroy people's property in the house. So the house owner set a trap. So people say, okay, that only the rat that trap will catch. But guess what? The trap did not catch the rat. They caught the snake instead, because the snake too used to come to hunt the rat. So the snake came that night before the rat, and the trap they caught that snake, but the snake did not die. So in the hospital, they made a big man in the town achieve. So the man's daughter didn't know. She went in that room mistakenly. The snake was not there yet, so the snake bit her. When the snake bit her, then she died. So when they were having a feast, they gotta go kill cow and go there. So you see how the whole story goes. Or trying not for ride home, because when they set that trap, all the goat there, the cow, then the sheep, they say, but enough for all, only for the rat. Now they all got involved. So that's the actual interpretation of that parable. So,
Right. So the girl,
concerned about what happened or what's happening in Israel.
This is interesting. So the girl,
we are also concerned about what happened in Iran, and we hope. And also, there is a good news. I'm here. Is there somebody talking of me?
I think you're getting the feedback late. I was asking you, say, or the snake. You talk about the girl die, the rest did the snake die? So we just wanted to follow you conclude on that story.
No, the snake didn't die, or the snake died. They killed it later on, but the trap was set for the rat, but the rat did not come. It was the snake who came first, because the snake too was chasing the rat. So the trap instead caught the snake. Okay. And then the chief daughter didn't know that this snake was there, and when she went there, the snake bit her. So she died. When she died, then they had to do the feast. So cow and goat and everything now started dying instead of the rat. Okay. So that's why they say town trap is not for rat alone, it's for everybody.
Yeah. Welcome. Yeah, so, welcome. You
on the flip side, there was some good news. Yeah, there was some good news over the weekend. Donald Trump signed the peace treaty, or he brokered the peace treaty between the Rwandan government and the government of Democratic Congo. Over 30 years they've been on that thing, so we hope it will hold. I watched the entire thing, and you know, Trump. Sometimes I get to like Trump, right? The guy he get the humor side too. He get a funny side. You know, he not get that kind of man. He can make fun too. So he was a
Linford. That story there, Trump break a deal in Africa, eating up for nothing. They're gonna get the real mineral. That's what they've been after. So all that thing is
no. I know. No, that's the thing we'll be discussing now, because guess what? What he said, or one of the, I think the foreign secretary or the vice president, he mentioned that they did that are brokering is not just because the American companies are there already. Are sending American companies in both countries. You see it? So that's why they broker the deal. But you know, Uncle Sam, we're not doing anything, no free lunch, man. We know that.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you, Linford. That's what on Linford Mountain try not for right alone and development going on. The cases in court, we're looking at something big going to happen in Liberia. Will this just be another talk? We'll dive into it. So let's transition quickly up to international. Then we can come back to our mama Liberia, where always story. So to our audience, if you join you from Bajala TV, just say something so we know where you're joining us from, so we can. I see Emmanuel here. He watching us from Indonesia. Thanks, Emmanuel. This is your first time on the bottom line discussion. Well, I mean, it should always be your home. It's good to see you. Welcome. Name for anybody from your end that you see you can recognize. Francis, you muted name for.
I see mechanic. I don't know. There is a mechanic here, but whoever you are welcome. There's a lot of people whose name I can't see because this system is a bit different. But we see Emmanuel, of course, from Indonesia. Oh, Indonesia, no, Indonesia, way near to Thailand, Southeast Asia. That's my area. But
Yeah.
guy, we want to say thank you for watching, and Emmanuel, just help us share the show to your friends. Just invite your friends and click on there, and then they tune into. We are here every Tuesday and Friday at just about the same time you're watching. So we don't know the time difference on that side. So it's about 9 o'clock. It should be about 3 o'clock around 3 o'clock there. So whenever you have the opportunity, you can join us to watch the show. So welcome to all of you.
All right, guys. As I said earlier, we'll look at international briefly, and then we'll move on to Liberia. The situation that happened in the Middle East have taken all the attraction away from the Ukrainians, and the Russians also saw the opportunity to continue pounding on them and taking ground. So this is the situation now. When you now focus on one thing, you want to be the spider, to be all over the place to control people. The other guy on the other side take advantage. So now the Ukrainians are suffering. And the West now, the meeting decided to increase their own budget for their own security. So where does that leave the Ukrainian? So guys, so today we're going to look at something dramatic, and I need your view. We'll pick up this from the Chinese, not the Chinese, Indian news that seems to be reliable. They come up with stories. They don't take side. They just say it as the way it is. So we'll be looking at what is happening in the Ukraine today. So this is about 3 minutes. We'll play this, and after that, we'll have your thoughts.
Well, explosions ripped through the night as Russia unleashed one of its deadliest assaults yet on Ukraine's capital, Kiev. In a brutal show of force, Moscow fired 352 drones and 16 missiles at Kiev and its suburbs, killing at least 10 and leaving dozens more wounded. Ukrainian military says that Russian forces are advancing on the entire western front while trying to establish a buffer zone in northeastern Sumy Oblast. Our next report telling you more.
Another night of horror in the Ukrainian capital. Drones swarmed, missiles screamed, sending people scrambling for shelter. But for many, there was no escape. This is the devastation unleashed by Russia's latest assault. Shattered glass, buildings blown apart, rescue workers desperately sifting through the debris in search of survivors.
First I thought to escape by climbing down the tree, but I realized I couldn't make the jump. There was no point in waiting for the rescuers because everything was collapsing, cars were exploding, everything was cracking and breaking, with dust and smoke all around me.
Then there was an explosion, all in a matter of seconds. It was horrible, of course. In the room, I was immediately pushed back to the door by a blast wave, and the windows were shattered.
Russia has intensified its air attacks against Ukrainian cities in recent weeks, sending large waves of missiles, drones, and decoys designed to overwhelm Ukrainian air defenses. Ukraine's army chief, Oleksandr Syrsky, has issued a stark warning. Russia seeks to advance along almost the entire eastern front. Russian forces are on the move, probing Ukrainian defenses with relentless small unit attacks. In May alone, Moscow's troops seized more territory than in the previous month, using motorcycles to dart across open ground and overwhelm Ukrainian lines. Russian President Vladimir Putin says that Russia is ramping up in the production of Oreshnik, one of its newest intermediate-range missiles. Moscow says the missile travels at least 10 times the speed of sound, and so could not be intercepted. The missile has a range of 5,000 kilometers. As the assault intensifies, President Zelensky is in the UK, rallying support and pleading for more air defenses. But on the ground, Ukraine faces the grim reality of a war that is escalating by the hour, with Russia's eastern advance threatening to redraw the map. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
Okay, welcome to the discussion, gentlemen. This is what I said earlier, the diversion of the war in the Middle East. The Russians took advantage. And they keep pounding, but now the West is not talking about it anymore. They're only talking about defense spending on their own country to protect themselves. So guys, y'all watch a little clip. What say you? I will start from Francis, Linford, and then Padole.
Look, Paul, I think the war in the Middle East, specifically the Israelis' aggression on the country Syria, Iran, and the Palestinian, the Gaza, the Gaza Strip. It has given the Russians more fortitude, giving them more reason, more grounds to attack Ukraine, because the balance of power, the balance of condemnation, it has not reached the level at which it should be, especially from countries, the so-called allies of Israel, the United States, and now European, and its European partners. So they try to legitimate or legitimize the Israel's attack on the Palestinians, the Iranians, and what actually driving this is that America and Europe, they want to control the narrative. They want to say what you're doing is bad. They determine what is good. Here is Israel doing the good thing, defending itself, and there's Russia doing the bad thing, defending itself. So I think that's the panacea. This gave rise to the Russians to escalate the attack on Ukraine. Because I listened to a video shortly before I could come on the show, wherein Putin said he's going to redraw the map. He's going to take lands. He's going to grab a portion of Ukraine that belongs to Russia. So this is a clear reflection, as a mirror of what is happening with Israeli grabbing the Palestinian lands, and then the West America and its allies, the West, the partners, or what you call the allies, say it's good, and they condemn Russia. So basically, it's just a mirror approach.
Yeah, Francis, I think you spot on. It's a mirror approach, because if you have coal in your eye, you can't tell the next man say clean the coal from your eye. So this is what they've been caught up with now. They're not seeing anything. So they met in the Hague to say they're increasing their military spending on themselves. But the guy they brought on the front line to be the proxy for them, they abandon him now. Padole, let me go to Linford, then we end with Padole. Linford, you remember when Ukraine attacked Russia air base this thing become a big thing that, and the Russians say we pay back. It didn't take long. Israel did them the favor to start something on the other side. So all their diversion now went to Israel. Russia is now pounding the Ukrainian, taking territory, they're taking land. They're not joking. They're even going. I think this might be a regime change that they're heading for, but they're not going to announce it because they started pounding Kyiv. What say you, Linford?
Well, you see, this is to solidify the warning that people always give: do not fight a war that is not your war, or do not fight a war that you cannot fight or you cannot end. Zelensky knew the strength of Russia long before the war started. He knows. Not that he's strange. They are the same people. They speak almost the same language. It's like maybe Guinea Pele and Liberian Pele. They understand each other. So there's no way you can say we don't know what these people are talking. Russia warned several times, do not start a war or do not do this. If you do it, I'll come for you. And there was this boogeyman sitting there somewhere in the bush saying, go, I'll back you, go, we're here for you, we'll get your back. And he went into this war. Now, forgetting to know that the people will not put their boots on the ground. What they will do for you is anything you want, they will give you food, drugs, any supply, they will give you. But who's going to be fighting your people? So you got to trust your military before you go into war. And on the other side, the same people, they got a darling boy. Their darling boy went and started another war. So they turn their back on you, you get the stepchild. Now, the real darling boy started war. So they turn their back on you, stepchild, you can be fighting your war. But we're going to our darling boy, we got to rescue our darling boy first. And this is what really happened. So now, I don't know how I would have loved for Zelensky to give interview to any press and tell them how he's feeling right now with all of the aggression from the Russians. And I think that Vladimir Putin is talking that he's going to rewrite or redraw the map. It could be serious because they have taken key errors in the past. Remember the 2014 war, where they took some key errors, okay, and then they adding up. So sooner or later you'll see that major towns will go. I don't know whether I haven't followed that war so much to see whether my city or Dnipro, because Dnipro is just the water between there and Russia. So the guy can get on the boat and kind of cross and start to take a place. It was normally abandoned already, poor, nothing happening there, and to big factories there. So maybe they will all run that place and then Russia can reform those factories and start working. But I think it's a serious case, or like Paul said, the whole Israeli Gaza and Israeli-Iranian war created serious distraction from that war in Ukraine. And Zelensky will have to really, really work hard if he will resist in any way, in any form at all, the Russians, because first of all, you got to get by your territories that Russia has taken before you even think about driving them out and then to go into their territory or at least to the neutral land, that buffer zone. So as Russia advances, they will set their own buffer, right? It's okay, this is where we stop now. So you can't move us. And while you're fighting, they'll be pushing you. And this is where I see war as something that nobody can boast of. The war, there's no clear winner in war. Somebody will get, or the two groups will get fatigued, and then at a certain point, they say, okay, we cease fire. But nobody to win war and say, okay, we level the whole of Ukraine, we take everybody, is not possible. Or we do the same thing to Russia, is not possible. So I don't know how this thing will end. I think Zelensky should be praying for his big brothers to turn back to him again instead of abandoning him. And now like Francis said, our uncle then here now, they think about their own security. Okay, they solidify and they are planning. I heard Donald Trump when he was planning that peace talk. I heard him say that his meeting in the Netherlands was fruitful. NATO has committed to raise billions of dollars for their defense, for their own defense. Now they're not talking about raising billions of dollars to defend Ukraine or any other country. They are saying their own defense. So I think we are out for a long haul. You know, they say the distance of 1,000 miles starts with one step. So we get on step one. Let's see how it's going to end and how far they will go. But I think Ukraine should be out for a very long big mess.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you, Lynn, for Padole. You know, when the thing started, the Western media have a way of to run the propaganda that can confuse their citizens and people buy into it. That the Russians' arms were depleted. They didn't have, they were running out of arms. So Ukraine was supposed to win this war. And the momentum was there. What happened? The thing turned around.
All right. Thank you very much. From my understanding on this episode between Russia and Ukraine, the thing is an open secret. The previous administration of America, he was spearheading the whole thing. He was controlling the entire system activities. He was instigating the fear in that place there. And he had somebody as a puppet to carry on whatever he requested to be done. And he had a follower which was Europe. All of them were behind him. Whatever he said, that's it. So, in that manner, there was a heavy momentum in Ukraine against Russia. But the man who is there now said it from onset. Say he's now a war monger. He's not going to support Ukraine war. In his past administration, he never supported it. So when he came for the second time, he decided to kill it completely. Even going as far to tell Ukraine, in fact, the army and ammunition, the supply we gave you, the money we gave you to further war, we need it back. Or your minerals site over there, we want it. You have to sign a contract with us. And he was prepared to sign that contract. So basically, so long America is not spearheading anything in Ukraine, forget it. The Europeans are not going to follow it. Because he's told the European clear cut that you're being robbing us for ages. You'll be hanging on out on this kind of securities protection. We were spending huge amount of money giving all kinds of support and things for whatever problem you create. So now you need to stand on your own if you want to create any problem. That's the reason why they said that everybody should come up with 1% of their GDP. So basically, for me, so long Donald Trump is in the leadership right now in America, the Ukraine momentum will be down. It will be dead completely. Until new person comes who will be supporting, or Democrat come in to say, okay, we're going to carry on the legacies of Joe Biden. Then the war will pick up again. From now on, forget it. Ukraine, what Russia trying to do right now, before Donald Trump 2 year finish, make sure that they got everything, every area that they want. Because Ukraine, 25% of the populations are Russian-speaking people. So this Russian-speaking area they want to occupy all, they put a buffer zone. So any argument in the future, they will argue on the how I see it to be. I think I will appreciate if we can move to our politics, because the people know what they're doing, and the thing is an open secret. Everybody knows that. So if we can transfer our topic right now to Labua, there's a lot of things going on in Labua. We need to know. And also, Lambo, can you please tell when this young lady coming to join us tonight? Because you put it on something that she's going to be our guest.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me. If you saw me, I went off for a while. She called me. She said, "Oh, I'm in the street now. I'm doing something, so I cannot make it because I might join late." So we can do it Friday. That's what she said. She said Friday she'll be here. She's on holiday and she said she's thinking a lot of things. But she the one that called me last night, though. Last night, just almost around 11 o'clock, she called me and we talked relatively about politics and different things. And she said, "Oh boy, you don't want to invite me on the show." I said, "No, the show is open." She said, "Okay, maybe if I see what my schedule will be like tomorrow, you can send me the link." But then when I called, she missed the call. Then she called me back about a few minutes ago. And then she said, "Oh, but I'm caught up in the street, so I don't think I'll be able to make it. But we can make it on Friday." So that's okay.
All right. But if you can help out, help her, whatever topics about her, you let her know earlier so we can prepare our questions. Some of us have some questions for her. If you should come on.
Help to do what?
We have to, whatever will be the topics we are, if we can be notified on that so we can prepare some of our questions that we have for her.
No, I think she'll be there joining the group, joining the panel. A guest panelist will be talking I'm talking the same issues we'll be discussing, but she's
always on the show, so she'll be the guest.
She'll come in with her own perspectives on training issues. So
that's what I'm saying, Francis. What would be the topics? At least so we can prepare our questions for it. That's what I'm talking about. Because if you are just
she's not like she'll be doing the same thing what we're doing. We raise the moderator raise the issue, then we all give our view on it.
Okay, that's how it's gonna be. That's what you mean.
Yeah, that's how it's gonna be. We'll have a newspaper review with what's happening in the country. She'll have people. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. No problem. I thought she's gonna be a guest panelist. That she come with the issue that we were question. So that's gonna be that, because even the last time people all that this young man was coming, but we didn't see him win. Monuba, I mean, how do you call it? The former party chairman for CDC, right?
No, we didn't set a date. They said they'll appear on the show for their protest. So
that's what I'm saying now. That's what I'm saying.
So they still have time. They can appear anytime they want to appear. So yeah.
Okay, fair enough. No problem. Anybody can hear.
Okay. Anyway, let's transition to Liberia. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. Then, guys, Francis, you take us through Liberia.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Di Lorenzo, G Grace. Hems vocal, Liberia number one vocal, Liberia number one, right? Okay.
The phrase, "a new sheriff is in town," does not only belong to law enforcement. How about the introduction of Liberia's premier vodka, a quality and customized liquor for all occasions? Try the flavor of your choice. Hans Vodka, Hans Honey, Hans Bitter, and Hans Original Vodka. Hans Vodka has no hangover. That's why they say Papa drink Mama happy. Hans Vodka is sold in all stores, shops, supermarkets, and entertainment centers in Liberia. For wholesale, contact Hans Vodka at 0777 001114, 0777 000 We can also be reached via social media on Facebook and IG at Hans Vodka or www.hansvodka.com. In the United States, please contact Hans North America Incorporated at 610-543-9289, 484-888-1622, 484-755-8411. Hans Vodka is approved by the U.S. federal government. Hans Vodka brings out the real man in you.
I tell you in my boy and my blood, every time when I stay on the block, everybody knows it, we hustle. And forgot that number one, from Liberia all around, in supermarket store and everywhere, and forgot that number one,
Francis?
Yes, yeah, guys. Again, I want to welcome our viewers. We are transitioning to the mother's land right now, and there are a lot of things happening in the country. There's been appointment of the new Chief Justice. He has to go through the Supreme, I mean, the legislators, the Senate for confirmation. So, and then the government has enabled the GAC and the asset recovery to say they're ready to prosecute people, those who are caught in the web of corruption, So there are a lot of interesting things happening in the country right now. And so Liberia is moving so fast, and the government, the rescue mission is like they're ahead of themselves. So I guess an opposition waiting for them to to fall. I mean, to make some mistakes. So they say, oh yeah, two of the people are not guilty, nobody. So they, you're witch hunting, and the government say, they're killing all the witches. So all the opposition now call the witches, we're gonna catch them. So we got a new witch hunter in town, which is asset recovery team. So yeah, so that's the role of the rescue mission. Yeah, so so we talk about the chief.
The man George, George.
So we talking about the Chief Justice, the appointed Chief Justice. Let us see, man. They according to the, I think there's I call it the newspaper. It's not Inquirer. It's the what you call it. Rodney says newspaper, which we question the validity, the Front Page Africa, which actually questioning the merits and the demerits of the appointment. And so, guys, what you guys think? For me, you guys give your thoughts, and then I have a contrary view on it. So, yeah. So anybody can go first.
I would like to go first, Francis.
Okay, but
yeah, go ahead.
Give your contrary view. Probably will take us some point from there and talk about it.
No, y'all have 2-3 minutes each. I mean. So
no. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go.
When you give your contrary view,
go ahead, Pap. Go ahead, Pap, Dory.
All right. We not rush on, Francis. We'll take our time to hit the target. Okay. Basically, I would like to ask a question because the way you explain the situation, I think you are familiar with the decision taken right now concerning about the incoming justice. Can you please let us know or tell us how long this?
Somebody is listening to something, adult TV or something.
Yeah, for me, everything is just off here.
Well, everybody mute. Everybody mute. Well, somebody, let's see, maybe go off. Of course, no, nothing is around me yet.
I think it was Paul. All right. Basically, as I was saying, I would like to know because you the way you give you open the throat to all, you look like you are familiar with the decision taken right now about the appointing of the newly Chief Justice, incoming Chief Justice. Do you really know how long this man been on the bench? How old is it being on the bench?
Well, I'm not a lawyer.
No, I'm not. It's not about the lawyer. It's about the time frame the man being on the bench.
Basically, I think being on the bench after he became Chief Justice, and he was appointed by George Weah, I think so. Yeah, basically, probably been there like 5 years or so after, or less than that. After what his name, after what his name left.
Nambe
died.
Yeah. So
probably he been there for 4 or 5 years.
No, not 4 5 years, 3 years.
Okay, 3 years. So yeah. So what's the problem with that? Is that it is
Mhm.
a basis of being Chief Justice? You have to be on the Supreme Court bench before.
Yes.
There's no law that says that.
No, listen to me. If after our argument, you go do your research to see whether I have seen the true or I'm lying. You see,
No, but educate me.
yeah, and that's why I'm coming up. That's why I'm saying if you now select from information, you can do your research. Chief Justice position, you always like this. The longest someone on the bench when the Chief Justice is retired or removed, the next person to take over will be the person who will next to that Chief Justice in terms of stay on the bench. The longest that person be on the bench and have more experience will take over. That's how they've been doing it. And if you can remember, I will bring something to your attention. This man is supposed to be retired. Francis Copper. Francis Copper is supposed to be retired. The next person that was online to take over will be Cabinet Janet. But Francis Copper was not in favor of that. So he decided to break all law, all the procedure, and accept the wisdom orchestrated by CDC to remove Cabinet Janet. That's the reason why I'm asking this question. So the next person in line is supposed to be someone who's been on the bench for long, not this man who just came 3 years ago. But everybody know why he's there for. Why the email appointed him for. And the judge, from now on, when they get to before they send it for confirmation, many stories will come up. So I will stop there for now.
Yeah, Leave for you want to go?
Okay. First, let's say congratulations to Yami Bese. Yeah, I think there were a lot of things. If you look at the byline of the newspaper, it says that appointment or that nomination is not actually appointment, but that nomination is drawing mixed reactions. That means some people are in favor, some people are against, and a lot of questions are coming out. Number one, why Yami Bese? Then we go into the historicity. How Yami Bese, the role that he played. There is this, I'm still hearing something. I don't know, somebody's playing something. So
No,
the
I
role
like
that
hearing
Yami
you.
Bese played.
Okay, go ahead. I think it's go ahead and speak.
The
Yeah.
role that Yami Bese played during the saga in the house. This is a man who gives different opinion. Then when the bit of I call it bit of clarification or whatever went in, he flipped on his own opinion again. And knowing fully well that because all of them are on a bench, they knew that Justice Siane Yo will be retiring. And so that slot will be open. And so if you play your game well, right, the chief is watching. So if you play your game well, you will be handpicked. And all of the other justices on that bench were silent in this case. It was only Bese that came out to speak. The other justices were silent. They spoke as the bench when they passed our decision, but individually they were all silent. It was only Bese who came out and spoke 2 different times. Then we also look at the geopolitics. Now, when I heard this guy named Yami Bese, I thought he would have been from Lofa or Bomi or one of those countries, but people are saying that he's from Nima. And I've been trying to locate where in Nima, which area in Nima that will have this Yami, then Bese. You gotta know the Gola people got Bese name. Bese. which is a very popular name in Gula, but they are saying that he's from Nima, so okay, we take it for that. So if he's from Nima, you got it. Here you go. You got the first president from Nima. Then you got the Chief Justice from Nima. So it's going to be like, if any electoral fraud happens and the opposition will want to go to the Supreme Court, the case is done already. And President Boakai is choosing these people cleverly. Now, let me break this news. Probably some of you don't know yet. It is rumored, and the person that told me this thing, the person speaks to the president every time, every day. The person told me in confidence that the next election commission chairman will be Gloria Mususka. So you see what we're going to? We made Gloria Mususka election commission chairman. Yami Gbese, Supreme Court Chief Justice. Then you have the Justice Minister, of course, the guy. The House Senate Speaker, the House Senate Pro Tem, UP person, even though she comes from a different party, then the Speaker. So the whole government will be from UP, the top decision makers. So you see that opposition hands will be tied. And this is what they have been trying to do. Okay? So it's clear that there was a reason why he was nominated. He's not nominated based on qualification, based on merit. So that's why the newspaper is asking whether it's a merit-based stuff or something like a political payback. Because we all know what he did. Somebody got their volume on. The feedback we're hearing is actually us talking. And somebody got something that we're listening to. Francis, can you lower that thing, your volume?
No, Limpa, I think it's your system. Nobody get anything on.
I got nothing on, bro.
No, it can't be my system because it's the same. I'm using my computer, so I'm not playing back.
No, we're not getting out, and we're not hearing it. Only you hearing it on your system.
Yeah, he's in the background and he talk. If I hear myself, I think we all need to go out and come back maybe.
Okay.
Right.
I don't have any device.
Exactly.
When Livon talk and you can hear the sound.
When you speak, even I speak, you get the feedback. So it's something that's like some technical glitch or something happening.
All right. Let's just flow. We don't have enough time. So we just mute, and then when we finish talking, when you're talking, you unmute yourself. You finish talking, you mute. So maybe that will stop the feedback.
When you're talking now, do you hear it? And leave for him. If he's speaking, Paul, I do not hear that.
Okay. But even you, Francis, when talking, I can hear it.
Yeah, that's it.
When you talking, Francis, I hear it too.
Yeah, only three of us talk, we can hear it. So I don't know why.
Right. Okay. All right, Francis, you want me flow on this, and then you come on?
Yeah, go ahead. Shoot, bro.
Okay, I think the newspaper asked a very good question here, whether it's merit-based or political payback. And from the onset, people may say, oh, this is a political payback, because this one is very wasted, wasted in Nima County, who actually broke down the reason why the Supreme Court did not attend the president sooner. And then there's a young man who in a house called Foley Family who came out and said, oh, this was a liquor talk. Now, after when the Bureau of Information came, the very man who laid out the premise of why they didn't attend the summit, it was the very man that descended on the Bureau of Information. So based on that, people may say this is a payback because he's the only one that had dissenting view on the Bureau of Information. And this reminds me of Kamina Jane in the 2017 election, when the case went to court, when the Liberty Party took the case to the Supreme Court, Cabinet General had a descendant vision of it. What happened? George Weah was against her. He got impeached. Similar thing like this happened in Liberia, and this guy is being rewarded. So the question is whether it's based on merit or based on political payback. So the paper is now putting the argument out there, and people have different view on this. So this is what the paper say, and in my view, this is the United Party. He will go for his how do you call it, hearing. He will go through, because I never heard in Liberia, apart from the CDC time, there only one person I heard that went for the Senate interview, because he said he was going to kill people. They didn't accept him, but most of the people will go through easily. And being the Senate, Zoli, thank you for reminding me.
And he died.
Yes, so that was the only one. But usually, when the president nominates somebody, that is a right. So this guy's going to go through easily, because the current Senate is Unity Party run Senate with their coalition. So it's an easy right. So we'll have the next Supreme Court. We'll have Justice Wese as the next Supreme Court boss. But now the question still remains hanging. Is it a payback from his dissenting view? That is the question. And people may see it that way, but we'll say congratulations to him. And Padore, I don't know about the justice system more, but people who are not part of that bench can be nominated from all sides to be somebody. So if the highest serving person in there, according to you, if that is supposed to be, then it will be that woman, how they call her, what do you call it? If that's
based on the experience, even you're not on the bench, they will look at your experience, how long you've been on the law,
right?
Something.
Have you gone through this guy experience? How long he been practicing? Because he served in how do you call it, NEC. He was at NEC. He was a lot of places before he went to the Supreme Court. So if
there was a judge before.
Exactly. So he might have come with a lot of experience too, that the president could have looked at, say, okay, this is the right person. Or I could pick this guy also. He would be the one to do the dirty work for Unity Party. I mean, Donald Trump did it in America. He brought people that. So these are political appointments. And then they become independent. So those are all possibilities.
Let me just say, according to Article 54C of the Constitution of Liberia, it stipulates that the Chief Justice is appointed by the President or Republic of Liberia. It's appointed by the President. It is not or order of cessation. You know, it must be that person, the oldest person, the next older person on the line. There's three basic criteria. You have to satisfy all. It says that in Article 68, eligibility for the position of Chief Justice requires that the candidate be a citizen of Liberia. Now I'm a dicky. Be of good moral character. And say, another thing that help it up is say, have been a counselor of the Supreme Court bar. They say the Supreme Court bar, be a counselor of the Supreme Court bar for at least 5 years. They say you have been a member of the Supreme Court, you know. So there are always been people who are non-members of the Supreme Court bar or who have been presidents. We have the same constitution like Liberia and like United States of America. You know, it's not very often that the person, the next or the oldest person in terms of practice on the Supreme Court bar becomes a Chief Justice. So there are so many factors that influence. The president of Liberia has the number one responsibility to appoint the Chief Justice. It might be other concerns. People may interpret it differently. But yeah, there's mixed reactions. But yeah, for me, I'm kind of surprised to see here that
just to add a little to what Francis is saying. There is no law that restricts anybody, not anybody, but any well-learned lawyer from becoming a member of the Supreme Court bar. You see, from the Chief Justice, right? You see, even the president could ask the Liberian Bar Association for them to nominate somebody who they trust. So they can be a guy who is coming on the bench for the very first time. So but the thing here is, like I said, the role this man played. Imagine he was only there are 5 justices on that bench, but he was only 5 or 6. Are they 6 or 5? 5. I think there should be 5.
In 5, he had dissenting view.
Yeah, 5. So that the Chief Justice himself can break the tie if they had dissenting view. So he was the only person vocal.
He had dissenting view after he later talk in Tapita or whatever. In Uganda.
Yeah. See, so I think that that was one of the reasons why he got paid back. And maybe the president is being smart to say, oh no, this was the guy who disagreed with the decision first. And then he came back and some people say, the fact that the president appointed this man who disagreed with the decision of the at that time. So the president is balanced. The president can, appoint anybody.
But
clearly, the president and Yami Bese cannot pass any sassy that this thing is not politically, motivated. The two of them cannot pass any sassy
I think there's a risk involved here. If the UP administration is contemplating or they are relying on Bose's judgment that he will be manipulative, he will pass judgment on their behalf. This is a guy who was sell out. Even George Weird, I think he's a CDC guy affiliate. He is a CDC affiliate.
No, listen, Francis, this is a pitch.
He has an appetite for CDC.
They'll say be a pitch.
Exactly. So this is a risk. I know.
No. Listen, the president is not. Let the guy saying, why cannot be for him to go see a man who he believes will be a risk and for him to be Chief Justice. Remember, we are going to election, and there could be electoral problems that will be taken to that court. And when the court decides, nobody else can decide. So you think Parker will look at impending risk, a very clear, visible risk, and say, I'm going to take it? No. There might have been some discussions in the back.
But before
you maneuver
what that means there is not easy to get him off to impeach him. I might sit down there.
It's a possibility to impeach the person. But however, for me,
it's not easy.
I rest my case for now and wait to hear from the state in the future.
This Francis might be right here because it was George Weah who picked this guy. And picking him, there was a motive behind it too, that if anything that went to the Supreme Court, these were the people that could have break that tie. Now, they later talk justice, who summons out there, and talk, sir, this could be a risk factor here that, all right, let me play the game, get there, and you can't get me out unless I done something silly, then you impeach me.
All right, can we get back to another topic? Because
But
no risk here. Oh, let me explain something here.
But we got that. We discuss it in the next 10 minutes. We're going to last topic.
Hello.
The asset recovery team stuff.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Let me get clarified. Let me get make.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me make a point. But there is no risk here. No risk here. Let me tell you, this is a clever attempt. There are 5 justices on that bench. So, if any case go there, the 5 justices, they will be in cahoot. So let's say Yamin Bese and one other person will play the devil's advocate. Say, oh no, we don't agree with this. The other 3 will vote. So what is the risk here? And they will overturn it. So man, they think that no politics. When you in politics, don't even trust your own father or your own brother. You see, this is calculated. There will be cases coming, right? Yamin Bese prove that you are the tough guy. Disagree.
You cannot be 100% sure the certainty of it. Listen, there's always a room for a fallout. There's a room for fallout. Look at Elon Musk and Donald Trump right now. Donald Trump, our loggerheads. This guy, no, I don't trust him. Simple as that. In terms of
people can say they don't trust this guy.
He's going there to? He should be a neutral in his interpretation of the law. He should have concurrence with his fellow bench or member of Supreme Court. But hey, our person, that's something that deep down in this guy cannot be, because he's not going to do the work. He should not be doing the work for Unity Party anyway. But hey, this guy can be easily influenced from his action. Because Mr. Cummings got us seeing that he borrowed from these scientists, that people from the past experience, so this guy from his past experience, it could be it's a risky situation, very fluid.
So Francis, let me chime in a little bit here, and then probably you take us through. I think if this guy came up with something, Linford, you remember when he narrated the reason why the 5 justices didn't attend the sooner, he broke it down. He were influencing later to have a dissenting view on the build of information, the same build of information that he explained in Ganta. So this guy, Francis, is right. He cannot be trusted, because this is the man that lay it out, the reason being, then later on, the same reason he laid out, the Supreme Court came out with that reason, they had a different view.
Okay, so this is where this is where now I am saying there is a motive why he did that. So after he had done that, then he got a reward. So why you think he will go flip again? In any case, he will be in the government. He will be way there at the top. He's not competing with anybody. So why would he flip? The reason why he flipped was to get this job. Now he got it. So why didn't he going to go against his own government? No. Well, there's no risk here. They did not politics.
But then you cannot trust a Linford is somebody who quit to flip. It means something can influence him too.
Yeah, I think.
So what would be there to influence him when he's getting a salary regularly? He's at the top.
Yeah, I think we need to wait and see what the Senate will do in this case. Because
if forget la Senate thing, the mail will go.
That's what I'm saying. When the Senate take decision, that's it. You go by it.
All right. But that transition to the asset recovery team, the boss, Claire Martin, he's very assertive right now that they are ready to prosecute those who are indicted. They have overwhelming evidence to prosecute, and it has been long overdue. Some of the cases. So yeah. So what you gotta think? I mean, St. Gracious Rye, since that case, they won the case, and look at a gas lighted the whole engine to work more. Like, hey, we got some air in our wings now to go after people. How far you think this thing is gonna go? Because all companies didn't get paid. They are not taking pay for 5 months or 6 months. So do you guys think there will be some lapses in the process along the way? Because if you try to go after past government regime people who has money and you are not taking pay for that amount of time, people should be the ones that should be getting paid first. How they pay, so they shouldn't be induced easily. So yeah, what you guys take on that? Are they ready, or it's just a bluff?
Yeah, I would like to say something about it if I'm allowed to do so.
Go ahead, Mister.
All right, can everybody mute themselves, please? All right, you see,
it is the headphone that Francis got. That headphone giving feedback.
Yeah, you know, let me just say this thing here. This particular asset recovery things, the information we are getting, if that is true, is very, very scary. Number one, those that were paraded quite recently to the center.
Right, info.
Are you there? Are you there?
Go ahead, Papa. Daughter, we're listening.
All right. So those that was paraded to the center operation quite recently, some of them that we're getting the information that the government going to them to apologize for decision taking on them, and he was so wrong and blah blah. I don't know how true is that. We'll wait to see the actual truth, like what the gentleman is saying. And also the point of the matter is this: if you are saying that you're going to prosecute every single person that's involved in corruption, is a very good idea. It's a very good beginning. That we all want to see the corrupt officials being placed in jail. But what Francis just said, he said the people have not taken pay for 5 years if they can be motivated to go after the corrupt official here and there. And Francis should know, he worked with the government before. He knows fully well that salary is not a matter in the Liberian government. Pay government salary is not a matter. Even the past regime then, from Samuel Doe time, start from Samuel Doe administration coming down, people used to stay to work for over 6 months, no pay. Sometimes after 6 months, you got 1 month pay. So salary is not an issue.
What, Samuel Doe time?
From Samuel Doe time, yes. I worked in Samuel Doe time. Samuel Doe administration from start to finish, I was in it. We used to spend 5 months, 6 months, no pay. Ask anybody that was there. Samuel Doe administration. Please. I'm not talking about any other place. Please.
I was speaking to now this, so I'm working, so I can't.
So I am telling you, I said, that's why I say start from Samuel Doe period. We started it on Samuel Doe time. For salary to go up to 6 months, people get 1 month pay. So salary is not a problem. It's not the reason or recipe for people.
Paul, try to meet yourself, Paul. Let you see. Please. Okay. Go ahead, Padre.
Yeah, salary is not an issue. Don't forget about the salary issue with the government employee. So we also wish that these people want to get to it to these cases. They must be serious. They must have sufficient evidence to nail the culprit to the crime. That's it. That's the only thing that we all should wish for. Because the betterment of our country is a betterment for everybody. Whether you're in Liberia, you're outside Liberia. When the country is better off, the kind of pressure that you will get from your families, your relatives from back home for financial assistance, it will not happen. So obviously, if these people manage to prosecute the corrupt officials and get to the bottom of it and nail them, and whatever property that they accumulated during that period and confiscate and convert it to government coffin. I think that is one of the best things that I would like to see. But what we heard, these are some of the things. Why we prompt them to go and start apologizing to these people? They say the two person need a call the national security advisor to the president and the national security director of our country went to this lady here, Miro Bro, and apologized to her. They say we wrong you. Whatever decision the asset recovery people take, it was wrong. There was a misinformation. There was a misdeed. Secondly, the me person who signature on many of these disbursement of the situation, the case that they are on now, that person have not been with us. Why? Clearly, more than 5,000 bag of rice were given to the deputy speaker, the present deputy speaker. He took it to Lofa. Why this man can be called to us? So I don't know. So for me, if this information as true, I think is a cherry picking in this case here.
Okay, but we go to Linford and Paul Paul will take us home on this one.
Okay, when I hear about this asset recovery team, I think this is one of the mistakes that this government made from the start, to waste money on a useless committee or group that is doing nothing. The first thing is, in order to be able to retrieve assets, you must have plans how you do it. You must have a blueprint. This thing had not happened like before. Now, not because I work in government, and you say because before I started working in government, I did not have house. So when I work in government, I build house. So you come and say, okay, I stole money. The reason why people work is for them to get paid. So the people are working and getting paid. And prior to that, when they call the government officials to come and declare asset, you got to literally draw them. You got to force them to come. So it has not been part of our system. So the first mistake they made was, when they talk about asset recovery, they stood up in the streets of Monrovia, and they set up roadblock and started seizing taxi that was supposed to belong to Findabono and other people. I mean, what serious country or what serious group of people would do that in order to taxi? Anybody can buy taxi. I can buy a group of taxi and say, Paul, run my taxi, man, I'm busy. Okay? So Findabono could be running somebody else's taxi. And then they were in the street there, stopping car and doing. So it means that they did not have plan in the first place. I bet you if you ask Claude Martin, man, ask him, bring your blueprint, bring your plan. Okay? Because everything you do, you got to have a plan and your objectives. What you hope to achieve, how you starting, bring your methodology. He will not show you anything. You only say, okay, government towards him will go take, we'll learn look at government, former government employees, and guess. Francis said something here the last time when it comes to policing, where he said the police people can, most of the time, they act on instinct, they act on suspicion. So because John Brown was working in the government and they saw plenty of people around with John Brown, and they don't even know how those rights went, they still get John Brown story right, because John Brown used to have plenty of people right. You see it? So for a thing that government is spending money on, to go and start looking for rice, bag of rice that did not even come from the government, that was donated to government by other people. I think if anybody was to be concerned about the rice, it should be the Saudi government.
No, but Limpo. Let me tell you who we read there. The Genesis, you know what triggered the asset recovery team to go after these people? Because the government went back to ask. The people say, "Okay, arrest before my people. You have not given any financial report on the rice. What happened?" So they went back, and they went back to to look at the reports that were gathered, it was not
I got a gist of what you're trying to say. I got a gist of what you're trying to say.
So that why they went back.
So you see, then now you agree with me that this group is just acting on instinct. They sat down there for 1.5 years. They know that Mary Broden had rights from the Saudi government. They didn't go for them. But because the government went back to ask for rights, and then they posted, oh, you got to get the full report. So they prioritized this rights. Now, just recently, the GAC came up with some accusation, almost $7 million. You leave $7 million to go for 29,000 bagel rice? $7 million? Yeah? And they are saying that they are not taking pay. That rent will not should even be sold. So if they okay, let's say Mary Bro will bring back all the rest today. How will they benefit government? How will the asset recovery team even take pay? You see, they are not taking pay for several months. First, let me get my opinion.
But certain things you want to say, I'm trying to tell you the basis. Government went out there again to call it. The people say, the Japanese rice. The rice, all the rice.
I agree.
Everybody using our project, the rice to sell the rice.
What if the government are not going? What if the government are not going to go pay for rice? Okay, so the people they not right now. Okay, by the time they say something else happened, they say, oh, but the last time we gave us some drugs, they will start go to the hospitals, to the Ministry of Health or MPhil to start arresting people and say the American government said they gave a drug. So they had no plan. So they get listening. They say, oh, the last time we gave Paul some football boots. Oh, Paul, what the football boot they people give you? Then they listen and say, oh, but that will happen in Chelsea. They say that John Brown. Then they go to John Brown. They got no plan. So government just set this committee up, useless committee, and the national even take pay because they'll be taking pay for doing nothing. And this particular team leader, the team leader here, Martin Colley, accused him. Had anybody gone after him? Why is he still operating when you're supposed to be coming to arrest me for mismanagement of certain things, and but you are under accusation?
And Martin Colley accuse you of something, when they jump after you leave for.
Okay, so if the Saudi government say will give the people the last time will get the rest, the Saudi government did not say will give the rest of the people they made some money. The minister will give people rest the last time. So why are they jumping behind the rest people?
Because there was no
this is cherry picking. There
was no documentation to the effect. Okay, that conclude. So Paul can take us on this.
So are you denying that Martin is not corrupt? Martin Colley lie on him?
I'm not here to give credence to what Martin Colley say or not. If the man is corrupt, Martin Colley should bring evidence to validate his claim.
Okay, but then let the government bring evidence that Mary Broden sold the rice. Instead of
evidence, bro.
They even breaking there now. They apologize to them. I said the National Security Advisor and the National Security Director, they go to the woman and apologize.
When?
2 days ago.
Well, you all better they say on public radio.
No, but when let them deny it and they say they never go.
Paul, please take off home on this.
Right. So I think it's Padore. If you're using a microphone, I think it's a microphone because that's the microphone that having that. All right. This is interesting.
I'm using my laptop.
Does it have a microphone on it?
No.
All right. Okay. All right. So this is very, very interesting. I would really love for these guys to prosecute people who have been stealing from people in Liberia. And it would be a good thing for it to happen. Martin said when he took over, there were monies in the banks of Africa Coast, Ghana, and other parts of the world that he was going to go after. So, what they've been in office now, nearly 2 years. 29,000 bags of rice for access for disaster recovery to give people that it was free rest that the Saudi or, I mean, the Arab government gave to Liberia. So my question is, if they want to prosecute people that have big money in all of these countries that he named when he took over, why they have not gone behind those people? And the back of red issue, the last program hire, I said this thing not going to go anywhere. It's just to pick people and show them that we can prosecute you, we'll put you in jail, then time can it become not. Now, I don't see the clear-cut evidence in this thing, because the red distribution, we know that Thomas Fala took 5,000 back of red, but he have not been called. So this is the thing that people are saying is not going to go anywhere, because if you want to start this good, you have to do it to the bone. You cannot be selective. So we also know that some of the politicians were given some of the, including the current president, for distribution. So this rest issue, I think, is another yo-yo in a town. It's almost like what happened 7 months ago with the Capitol building incident. Is the similar noise. This is just a noisy thing. And I said on the program, say if a government that start with noise, they don't end up good, because what happened? People will not pick up the good things that you're doing, because you make the country very noisy every day. And this is one of the incidents. It's just a noise. That's how I see it. Until we can go to Ivory Coast, that the money in the millions of dollars in the bank in Ivory Coast. Now we're talking. Who put those money there? He said they took money to Ghana. They went to Dubai. He said sell it. So if you know that these people get money in those places, go after them. Let our people let the children be able to go to school. They don't have to pay registration fee, because that's big money. But 29,000 beds that was divided among these crooks. That's what I'm saying. It's just a noise. It's not going to go anywhere. That's how I see it. It's just noisy. There's another noisy situation that will go quiet. So that's how I see it, Francis.
Okay, Paul, thank you. Thank you for your views on the asset recovery team, their work. Thank you all. And for me, I think the asset recovery team is doing an unprecedented job in the country of in Liberia. This has never happened before. All governments before this government were very skeptical. They were more political in their actions. This government has no sacred cow. Be it current administration, ministers or officials or past government officials, you all will be sought after when you are allegedly were involved or involving, financial malpractices or malfeasance. So I'll turn it over to Paul for our closing or lean for. So
okay. Just before we turn over to Paul for the closing, let me just make one statement. You see, the asset recovery thing was misplaced. They gave them the wrong mandate. They don't know recovery. How do you recover? Now, it's the government of Liberia, maybe through the CRD or the Interpol, or that was supposed to be checking on these assets, like those want money abroad. Okay, so the asset recovery thing, you go to one bank and knock it door, pop, you're opening it door, Liberia will get money and you give it to, oh, you're not getting 1 cent, zero, you're not getting. The kind of thing you got to do it is a syndicate. You got to build a team, rapport with other countries, security apparatuses in other countries. They also have the Interpol involved with all this kind of thing. Then you get one over one cloud wedding, and then a few group behind, then they'll go, which pen will go send to and go ask.
Like
Eh?
Kramati.
You can't print. So these people, the process supposed to be like this. Set the Interpol up, set the NSA, the police or whatever, and then they do the investigation. When they find somebody guilty and the person is guilty, then now this group here, this thing they call asset recovery will now go and start. That means the government had done all of its work and brought down those people guilty. Then you can send people now to go recover the asset that they got. But that is not the work of this group here. Few group of people who you get grab call from somewhere and put them together. The whole government was the whole government is a noisy government, headless government. The government get head. The president is just a figurehead.
So that's a final. You got a final word now. So we'll move on to Paul. Let Paul close.
I will make
Why are you driving me away?
I will make my final word. Paul can close it for us.
Thank you, Francis. I'll say it now. Enjoy the both of you going at it. So yeah.
Final word.
I will let you make my final comment on this.
I can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, Pat, go ahead. So Paul can say home. We got
to give support to a landfall statement. You, Francis, you know what we're talking about criminal investigation. You know, you've been a police force. You know what's the procedure of going after criminals. The government started on a wrong footing, which is completely wrong. When you start something wrongly, you always end wrongly. You see, initially, this kind of situation, the nomenclature of this division or department is to recover. So you recover once something has been identified and give you the right to go and pick up to recover it. But that is not the case with these people. They want to be the investigator, the judge, and the collector. So which is completely wrong. So I believe that the best way, because we already want to see this thing happening, because when the PRC government took over, these are similar statement they made. They say rampant corruption people. They wrongly put the people to a kangaroo court and judge them will have any due process and things there and execute them. It's a rampant corruption. These are similar things that are happening, but this one is a civilized way because it's a civilian government, it's not a military government. So, first thing the government needs to do in this matter is involve the relevant investigative department to identify all the people, all the potential suspects that they think that they're supposed to be the relevant people to look into their property. After they conclude the investigation and collect the pro and the con, if there's any prosecution need to be done, forward them to the court. When they find guilty, their properties identified, asset recovery things will go to work and collect these properties and distribute it to the government. That's how they're supposed to do, but they are not doing that. They instead go on the street. They started it arresting a former police director car on the street without even getting a mitigation of the issue. And at the end of the day, they have to take it back from them. And they're going for taxes, all this kind of thing. It was wrong. We pray that these people take the rightful step to make sure that the things work. You will show as a deterrent to the next government that will come in. They will be skeptical to do any criminal act. But if this thing ends fiascally, it does not end well, then obviously you will still pave the way for the next government that coming in to do whatever they want to do. So, Francis, saying people are closer to the Unity Party, you're sympathizing with them, you can go indoor and talk to them, at least let them do the right thing in order for the thing not to slip in the hand of the government. That's why I can say here. Thank you.
Paul, can you please say our home? Take our home, Paul.
Thanks. It was a great show, gentlemen. I enjoyed the conversation, but let me give my little 1 cent, my advice, and then we'll close the show. I think there's no statute of limitation when it comes to people who are stolen from the country called Liberia. By this time, I thought the United Party led government are coming to go for that 2900 million that George Weah built. By this time, I thought we were going to see Eddie Johnson Sirleaf in court for telling us that corruption, she took responsibility of her children taking our money. I think by this time, Samuel 12 should have been in post-tax now, and the $30 million that were claimed in Africa should have been in Liberia covers by now. But it seems to me it's not going that way. So all of these things is just things that they need to look at. It would be good that some big fish be prosecuted and they recover the money that they took from the country. It would be a good thing. I think by this time, Bernard Ure, all the money he took from Maritime, he should have been on an investigation as well. So, but anyway, this is Liberia. You become from a poor family, you get into government, you become rich. Until somebody do something for that thing to stop, we still wait to see. And I hope the asset recovery team catch that big fish that we can all sit down and dance. We shall pray for. So on this note, guys, it was a fantastic show. We have an interesting program here. What happened in Russia and Ukraine today? The West now cannot talk because they supported Israel. So if you support somebody and then the other guy is doing bad, how do you talk? This is where we are. And to Mama Liberia, the Supreme Court, I think we get a new Supreme Court. We got a new Chief Justice. Nobody gonna stop him. Justice Wesley going to be the next person, and the nominee will pass through. So, guys, that's how I see. I think the show was good. So I will ask for you guys to give your parting comment, and then we do a little commercial and close.
Yeah, for me, it was a good show. The government is still doing well. The asset recovery team will definitely succeed. All your wishes about what they should do will be done, and Liberia will rise again. And sorry for the people of Ukraine. I mean, Russia just going to walk with you guys. Sorry. So that's all from my end.
Yeah, thank you. Linfo?
Well, it was a good show, and we did touch everything, just about everything that we promised to bring to the people. We want to thank our viewers for staying with us. Francis, you did well. You tried to stay in the gap, but not sufficient. I think you should take the message back, like what Paul just mentioned.
I didn't make it.
Recovery team visit former president Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, because she admitted that she took responsibility for her children's action. Then also Joe Barker was vice president in that government, and the money from the group of 77. There were no big change at the group of 77. They were sitting there under the leaking roof. So you got to account for some of those things. And so it's a lot of things. So there shouldn't be any choose in doing the job. Let it go across it. If are involved, let it come for us. So we hope that somebody said the job will be done properly without any bias, or else what is not done properly is not done at all. So thank you guys, and we hope to be here on Friday evening.
Yeah. This is that Rumble T Tony. Thanks for joining us tonight on the bottom line. It's good to see you. Yeah, so Fede Carter was here early, and Eric P and Machine. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Yeah, so guys, it was good. Padole, it was good seeing all of you. Will be back here on Friday, and on Friday we should have Yasini in the house too. So the conversation will be great, and I guess we'll have the full house. Jamal will be back on Friday as well. So as we get, maybe by Friday, some of those rest, these people that stole our rice will be in prison by Friday. We don't know. So and I'm looking forward to this one. I'm really looking forward to it. So let's Padore.
Yeah, you see, Francis, I think we brought this people out today, but unfortunately we didn't discuss it. Concerned about the criminal code A judge managed to survive from the net attack.
So Padole, what happened? Reserve that for Yasini. She in today advocated for justice and peace. So that topic we can raise it on Friday.
Okay, no problem. Okay, we will do that.
Thank you.
Okay, for me, I'm praying for my country. I hope those that trying to do the right thing will do the right thing to rescue the country. For those that got the criminals intent, God will expose them and make them to be the victims of their evil intention. But what I want to warn the Unity Party government, if the Unity Party government go after people to waste people time, to waste our money, our resources, for fiasco issue, man, the next government that comes will not act the way you acting. They will go after you to make sure that the money that you waste unnecessarily from the fiasco issue, you pay the consequences of it. So wherever you guys end up doing as a Unity Party government, you do the right thing to save the country. That's all I can say. Thank you very much. Have a lovely night. Glad to see all my brothers here tonight. We hope to see them again next week.
Thank you, Padone, and thanks to our viewers for following us. So we're going to close on the show with this, and we shall see you all back here on Friday.
Di Lorenzo, G Grace. Hems vocal, Liberia number one vocal, Liberia number one, right? Okay.
The phrase, a new sheriff is in town, does not only belong to law enforcement. How about the introduction of Liberia's premier vodka, a quality and customized liquor for all occasions? Try the flavor of your choice. Hans Vodka, Hans Honey, Hans Bitter, and Hans Original Vodka. Hans Vodka has no hangover. That's why they say Papa drank Mama happy. Hans Vodka is sold in all stores, shops, supermarkets, and entertainment centers in Liberia. For wholesale, contact Hans Vodka at 0777 001114, 0777 000-979. We can also be reached via social media on Facebook and IG at Hans Vodka or www.hans